Take two. I get interrupted last time. Sorry. Well, anyway, if I can remember everything I said before, we got to play RQG on Friday night. It's Saturday night now, so I should be able to get uploaded tonight without any issues. But there's not going to be a live play because Friday night when we were playing, that storm's coming across the country, hit us here in Virginia, and while I didn't think the wind was blowing that hard, the power flickered a few times. It actually went out once, and I lost my connection, and that lost the recording as well. So rather than having the last 10 minutes of us just chatting about different sorts of stuff, I figured, okay, no upload. But anyway, the Basmoli and his lion bring the party around to the front of the flooded temple, and the Basmoli tries, charge the door and push it open, and it doesn't move. And he heaves, and nothing moves. And so a restaurant went up there to help him out, and they push, and nothing happens. And then they get Jarstakos on there, and they push. And they cast strength spells on a couple of people. And they push, and it starts to nudge, right, at that point. And then David gets on there too, and with that, they bypass the 100 strength threshold of pushing the door open because there is a stone bench on the other side, right? So they're pushing and pushing, and they start to move it out, and as they get it open, so far, a javelin comes flying out, missed the Bismoli completely, and then whack! He falls to the ground unconscious. There was another bandit inside with his Kopish, and got him in the head. Did 6 points of damage. The Basmoli has 10 hit points in his head, and he's got no armor. 0 hit points in the head. Down he goes. Later on, they think about healing the Basmoli, but at that point, the lion's protecting the body, and nobody's going to touch him. He's not feeling well. I did later on allow Arvana to do a singing roll and modified by harmony to try just flip him upright to make sure his face is not in the water, because there's a couple of inches of water in here. It's raining inside. Everything is all wet. Anyway, they get the door open, and they cast a light spell on the bench, and Arestra jumps in and runs to the edge of the light. It fills this little antechamber area, a little hallway, and it starts to fill out this next room. So she's in the other room looking around. Doesn't see anybody, but there was some listening rolls made earlier on with splash, 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 splash. That's people running away. So they all come in. They cast the light spell on Jarstakos' Corf. And I thought, well, if he's moving that around, is that going to cause some vertigo for people? But, it's a 10-meter radius light spell. Now that I think about that, that's huge, right? So the little wave make force going to do anything. That's maybe looking at it. I don't know. Anyway, so they move forward a little bit at a time, a little bit at a time, a little bit at a time. They get to the next chamber. It's round. It kind of bowls down, so it's deeper in the middle. Cause it's ankle deep. In the center, there's a statue. And by the statue, all the water's like an ankle deep. Excuse me. And they're moving through. They don't see anybody. They keep moving forward. Some investigation on the statue, which is very well done. Almost lifelike. And at one point, Irvana does invoke her water rune and touch the statue, because it detects as magic, right? It is magical. There's no power. There's no magic points, but it's magical. And so she touches it, invoking the water rune to try to determine, what kind of magic are we dealing with here. And when she does so, a spout of water comes up out of the floor and nails her in the abdomen for like 6 points of damage. Whack! Poof! So she backs up. Don't touch the statue. But at this point, Arestra's further on, but she hears Irvana cry out, so she runs it. What's going on? What's going on? What did he kill? And they kind of reorient a little bit. David discusses the circle protection that he has, and hey, if you're going to cast something like protection, let's cast it on the circle so everybody inside is protected. So they do that with a couple. They do it with protection. And I know they discussed counter magic. I don't think they actually did counter magic. I think protection was the only one that actually got cast. So it got cast on the circle, and there's some maneuvering around. And Arestra did get far enough forward to see there was one of the bandits behind some. There's pillars and ceiling debris in the third room, right? And there was a bandit behind some of it, and he threw his javelin at a restaurant. I don't recall if he hit or not, but she parried. He probably hit, and she parried it with her with the axe that she got from the Dragon Temple Horde, which, by the way, is Dragon Bone Iron Bound. No, this is a gift. That's not Dragon Bone, but it's an Iron Orlanthe Broadaxe with a Blade Sharp 3 matrix. And so it's got lots of hit points right now, so she's just blocking. So she's not taking any damage from these javelins coming at her. But at that point, because then she ran back, right? Because Irvana got hurt, and they all start coming forward. We're gonna do, and they all get kind of set, and Arestra moves forward, and javelins from everywhere come flying. Because there's one, two, three. I think there's like 6 or 7 guys in here now. And they all have, well, they got short spears. They throw one as a javelin, right? And then they attack with the other one. But they've also got the Kopish. Well, anyway, so they all throw javelins. And they all have speed dart cast on them. Because it took around to prep, all the party's creeping up on them. And one guy actually has fire arrow that he casts on his javelin, and one guy has multi-missile 4. And he's, I think, the last guy that actually throws. So all these javelins come flying at a restaurant. She parry, dodge, back to parry again. Because at that point, her dodge was way below her parry, even modified by minus 40 or something like that. So she did end up getting hit a couple times, but they didn't do enough damage. The only one that did damage was a critical success, but she actually got a special dodge on. Or maybe it was a parry, but it was enough to actually impaled in her leg. Brought her leg down low. Oh, she got hit twice in the leg. So she's down. Irvana comes up to heal. Arestra pulls the javelin out and is going to throw it back at the guy. And everybody gets oriented. And at about that time is when we started having the electrical problems. And once I finally got completely back on and everybody's here and we're all talking again, it was getting 11:30. So we just kind of called it at that point. This is where we'll start. Next melee round, what's everybody doing kind of thing, right? Just roll for initiative. Happy gaming.